So what do we got today? Something that's been on my mind for a little bit, and I thought, well, let's just do a little video. And maybe for some of you who've never done one of these before or have encountered some difficulty doing this, then maybe this is for you, and maybe this will help you out. So I've got a great lamp. It's a fantastic lamp. Oh, it's just a lamp in the other room, living room. And in the morning, I get up, it's dark, I'm fumbling around underneath that lamp, trying to find the button, pushing, banging stuff around, shade falls off, all that kind of stuff. What I really want is a floor switch. I just walk up, tap it with my foot, I'm done. So I go looking around on Amazon, looking for floor switches. I'm hoping what I'm going to find is some really simple little floor switch, and you just connect some wires and you're all done. Well, I thought I found that, but what I did find was this item right here, which maybe if you have a look on Amazon and you're looking for a floor switch, you came across this. Foot Push Switch Black. There's the code number if you're looking, if you want to reference that. This one comes in a pack of 3 for, I don't know, about 14 bucks. So what it's got is the bottom plate, push button, the top housing for that push button, the spring for that push button, screws, and a little switch. So here's the problem with this little switch, is it's got, I don't know what you would really call this, but it's got a pinch gate. So you force the wire in the hole, it gets pinched by a spring-loaded door on one side and out on the other side. Well, here's the problem with these little pinch gates, and that is that most lamps have cords that have stranded wire. They don't have solid wire. And if you've got stranded wire, you can't push the wire into the pinch gate. I guess what you could do is on the side, there's a little release there that you would press in, and you could push the pinch gate in, push the wire. I don't like it. It's not a great fit. It crushes. Maybe you only get one of the little strands holding on. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what to do to get around that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little soldering today. Actually, we're going to do a little tinning is what it's called. And what you can do is buy small ferrules that you crimp onto the wire to make it a solid connection. Now, I don't have any of these little ferrules, and maybe you do, and if you don't want to tin the wires, you can use ferrules on them. I'm going to show you how to just solder them and tin them. So first of all, we have to determine on our wire where we're going to make our cut, because on this wire we're actually going to cut one of the wires, pull it back, strip it, tin both ends, and they are going to go into these little holes on our switch. How we're going to do that is we're going to look at the end of the plug. Now hopefully you have a fairly new lamp or a new cord, and you can see that on this cord you have one large end and one small end, or one skinnier one fatter one. What we want to do is we want to break the hot wire when we're using a switch. If we break the hot wire, meaning break the connection of the hot wire, what we then do is break the power to the lamp itself. Yes, I have seen switches, and you can, and I'm not suggesting you do. My cat's going crazy. Sorry. I have seen people break the neutral wire. The neutral is the path back to ground for the voltage. So little angry pixies that are flying down the pipe there. That's the path to ground, which is neutral. I have seen people break the neutral, and that will work. It will shut off the light. But what happens is that whole circuit right into the receptacle remains live. I have another little lamp for you here. Basically, if we had only broke the neutral, say, with a switch, and I stuck my finger in here, I'd get a shock because I then am the path to ground. So I hope that's fairly clear to you that the safe way to do this is to break the hot connection, the one with all the little electrons in it, break it before the lamp, and then the lamp is totally safe. There's nothing going on. There's no power in it. You'd be able to change the bulbs, touch it, whatever you have to do. Let's say you had a broken bulb, you could then safely get it out. Of course, you could also just unplug it from the wall and really be safe. So I would suggest you did that probably if you wanted to be extra safe. Also, another way, now I had said earlier that the small one is the hot, and that's one we're going to break. We're going to break the connection on the hot wire. The fat one, the big one there, that's the neutral. What you can also do is test it. So inside the lamp socket, this is the hot down in the middle. The neutral is the part on the outside. How you can confirm that is if you have a multimeter, you set it to ohms. I've set mine to ohms audible so that you can hear when there's connection there, when it's closed loop, in other words. So I'll just connect one lead to what would be the neutral and touch the outside, and doesn't want to work. Well, it doesn't want to work because I've got the wrong cord. I've got the wrong cord in. That would never work. So again, the neutral, which is the big, large, fat one there on the cord end, and there. So that tells you the opposite. The small one there is the hot one. Okay, enough about that. If you have any questions about how that all works, you can stick them down in the comments. So I don't think we need the multimeter again, but we'll just put it aside. So what do I want to do? I want to have my floor switch, not so it's too close to the receptacle, the power outlet. I want to have it fairly close to the lamp, but not right, on the lamp. I'll have it, let's just go with, I don't know, say 18 inches from the lamp, 24 inches from the lamp. So let's go about here. It's about right to me. So what you can do is you can follow the end of your cord, the hot terminal again, on your cord, all the way down till you get to this point. Well, another thing I know is that normally one side is rough, maybe ridged, the other side is smooth, and this one that is so, the neutral is rough, and the hot actually has a whole bunch of black writing on it. So all I really have to do is cut that one. Again, I could follow it all the way down, don't have to. What we're going to do is take our wire cutters. You do need a few tools, by the way. You'll need some wire cutters, probably a screwdriver. You might need an X-Acto knife. You need some strippers. Those out of your way. You're also going to need a soldering iron in my case, or ferrules and a crimper if you want to do it with ferrules. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that one side. And that looks about right. I do not want to cut my other wire. So I've cut one, and what I know that I can do is I can kind of grab one side and just peel it back. Just kind of slide it down. Or I can take my X-Acto knife and carefully try not to cut my fingers. Okay, once you've got those pulled back a little bit, take your bottom plate. I want to see how that's going to fit up. So we know that this has to go probably like so. It's going to come in around the back side like this. One side, it's open. I'm going to get rid of this, guys. That's just in my way. Go. The neutral remains whole. The hot does not. We're also going to look now and see how this is going to fit up. So our switch is going to go like so. One part of it You kind of also have to look at this and see how it's going to fit. And it may not fit going all the way around. It may fit kind of like this is right here. How it just goes into the slots like so. Get my hands out of the way so you can see it. And I think we're going to probably go around here. There you guys go. Now you can see it. Makes sense now. On this particular switch, that's how this fits up. Wants to go around the inside. Some of them want to go around the outside. You'll just have to see how it's going to route itself. Then this switch would go here. So what you're going to find is by the time we go all the way around, we actually have too much wire. And we're going to have to cut it back a little bit. What we can do is we can do that later. After we've tinned it, we can cut it back some. So we're going to strip this one back a little bit. The stripper. I'm going to guess that that's about, it's either 14 or 16 gauge. You can start with a larger gauge on your strippers. Over here, you have your strip gauge. I'm going to start with 14 because I know it's no larger than that. So take that back some, like so. And strip it back. So there we go. Strip there. The other side is stripped already. Sometimes you get lucky. Things just happen, just turn out right for you. So here we go. Now you don't want to have it hanging out of your plug, or sorry, hanging out of the switch housing, in two pieces. You want it to be a full solid cord coming out, full solid cord coming in. So don't pull these too far back. As the cat tears by again. Ninja, what's the deal with you today? Put that aside. So now what we're going to do is we're going to tin our leads or solder them. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom you guys in, I think, a little bit. See if that's the best for you. That's about the best it's going to get, I think. So what we're going to do here is take our, hopefully you've all done a little bit of soldering before. Take our flux paste, dab our wire in the flux paste, get some flux on that wire, which is going to help the solder stick. Don't need a ton, but don't be cheap either. We get our torch ready. Get this set up just nice here for us. That's about right. All right, guys, sorry about that. I drifted helplessly out of frame and hopelessly and hopelessly out of frame. I do it quite often. So we'll just reshoot this for you. I've got my little butane torch here. It's a lot faster than the electric one, so I tend to use it more often. I've got another piece of wire in my holding fixture for you. A little oversized, but you'll get the idea. I think this is a piece of number 12, and you'll be using something like, whatever's in your cord, 16, something like that, 18 is possible. I've already put some flux paste on the wire. Here is my solder. Get yourself out a nice lead of it, so you're ready to just get it onto the wire. Start your torch up. Mine can be fussy. We'll see if it's going to be fussy today. Oh, here it's working today. So get that warmed up. Usually I just check it when I'm working, and nothing yet. Not quite hot enough. So wait till that heats up. And what we're going to do is put the end of the torch tip underneath the wire. Once it heats the wire up enough, you'll see the flux paste start to smoke, and that'll be about the time when your wire is ready. So we'll just wait till it comes up, and there we go, it is. And as you can see, I can kind of tin my, let me just clean that off actually. You know what we're going to do? I'm going to clean that off first, because that torch tip is a bit mucked up. Because the end of the torch should actually be able to take some solder. There we go. And it's got a little bit of, there you go, solder on it. We'll get that propped up underneath the wire so it's contacting the wire. As I said, you'll see the flux start to smoke, and you can see if the it's not quite hot enough yet to take the solder. So just let it warm up. What I usually do is I'll put a little bit of solder on the tip, and it will start to suck up into the wire. There it goes. No need to go crazy with it. There it goes nicely. It's soaking into the wire. Making it one solid piece. There you have it. That's all you need. Shut that torch off. Let that cool for a second. And I can show you that that is now a solid piece. Just like one solid piece of wire and not stranded. Hope that's clear enough for you. So basically you can't bend the individual strands. All the individual strands are now one strand. All right, now that you've got it all tinned into your holes on your switch, you can slide your tinned leads. One goes in one end. Okay, there you go. Plate, put your switch inside, right in the middle there. I guess you can then try to reroute your wire around. Next, your spring goes on. And your switch, your cover, then goes next, presses on, and your screws then go in, which these are, what are they? Phillips screws. So you get your screws in there. And the last of them. And that's it, guys. All we have to do is test it. All right. All right. There's a switch. Do we get light? Depends if your switch turned on, your master up here is turned on, I suppose, but there it is. It's a simple fix. No need to dismay if you get those switches. Order them on Amazon. If that's what you get, just work with it. And either get some ferrules and crimp them on, or tin them like we did tonight. Thanks, guys, for hanging around. See you again.